Hey, good people. How are we doing? Today I decided I should talk a little bit about HP inflation because everybody's talking about it. We see in Reddit, or we saw in Reddit, pretty much the whole day, people talking about how the new shield defense is so much harder. Um, I don't know. I don't know if that's all that true, but it, it's definitely noticeable that we are getting more and more HP inflation into the game. And honestly, I think it's about that time that we should talk about it a little bit again. Because I think not a lot has changed over the last few months in this situation, ever since we saw like a lot of content creators in the space like complaining about HP inflation. But what I do think is now happening is that I think now we've been on it for long enough where we can now say a lot of the things that are causing HP inflation, and hopefully I'll be able to shed some lights on it. And let's see what you guys think about it, because I really want to know more opinions on if this is good, bad, and should they keep going in this direction? Should they maybe slow it down a little bit, which is actually my position on it. But we'll see. So the first part of the problem that I think most people don't start there, they start by, oh, the bosses have too much HP. I don't I don't think the problem is that the bosses have too much HP. The reason for that, hopefully you guys will be able to see while I'm talking in the video, because I added the 7th floor of sheer defense, the newest one, and you'll see that, like, I wasn't playing particularly well. I was mostly trying to have some fun playing characters that I like, and it was still completely fine. I then did just the first side with Monato, because I wanted to see, okay, let's make my team weaker than I've been playing today, and let's see if we can still do it. And it was actually even better than when I played, admittedly super poorly, my Miyabi on the first side of the 7th floor. Having said that, what I do think is actually happening and leading to all of this HP inflation on the bosses is actually character power creep and disc power creep. So basically, what has been happening over, I'm gonna say over the last 6 months, because I don't think it was true even after Miyabi. Miyabi created a new ceiling, and then we had like a good solid 3-4 months, 5 months even maybe, where we really didn't have any power creep. It was Miyabi's the ceiling and everybody else is working below her. Characters were getting a little bit stronger, but Sambi wasn't all that stronger. Yugo wasn't all that stronger, right? It was really just we had a ceiling and we knew what we could count on. And sure, there was HP inflation, but we kind of needed it, because when Miyabi came out, it was basically Bringer, you would do it with Miyabi, and everything else, you would do it however you wanted, because there really wasn't a reason to make much of an effort to kill stuff. Stuff was easy to kill as long as you had maxed out characters with the correct amount of gear. Now, here's the thing. That stopped being true in 2.0. 2.x, all of the patches after 2.0, have basically been character power creep bonanzas. It's basically every single new patch brings with it characters that kind of break the game, right? It brings characters that were like, okay, this is the new strongest character. Okay, this is the new strongest character. Okay, this is the new strongest character. And because of that, our own teams have also been getting stronger and stronger. So yeah, obviously, if our teams are getting stronger, everything else in the game needs to keep up with our characters being stronger. So obviously, the bosses will also have more HP. So now, when you fight Dead End Butcher or something like that, well, our Miyabis are no longer Miyabi, Yugo, and Sokaku. Now there's a Yuzuha in there, and the Yuzuha actually power creeps that team quite substantially, right? When we're fighting a lot of characters, this happens where suddenly now we have added power into it. And that power needs to go somewhere. And the way they've been fixing it is basically they throw a stronger character that makes our team stronger, and then they power creep everything. Everything needs to come up. And I think that's not super problematic. Like, that can be mitigated and managed, especially because they keep buffing older characters. Not at the speed that would be comfortable, but still, they're buffing characters, which is, I wouldn't say good enough, but it is something. But I would say that the main problem is the rate, the speed of the power creep, right? I think Dial-In is actually the perfect representation of that. Dial-In is not a little bit stronger than the other stunners in the game. Dial-In outright makes all the other stunners kind of useless. It's basically you put Dial-In in one of the teams, and then the other team gets whatever's left, right? In some cases, it's not that bad, because obviously Lighter will still do wonders for you in the proper teams, but it is not cool that Jufufu is being power crept so massively. It's kind of insane how power crept Jufufu got. I would say we're getting easily something like 30% extra damage. Like total extra damage. It's a very, very substantial power creep. Now, the problem is that this is not the only power creep we're seeing. So, even if we just had more stats, it would be really bad. But that's not just what we're seeing. Even in Monato, who is not power creeping the game because he's not more, like, he doesn't have more DPS than something like a Miyabi or an Ishuan, or honestly, most S ranks, but he still is mechanically stronger than what we had previously. Monato, honestly, is as strong, if not stronger, than Sambi on release, mechanically, right? He has HP recovery, he has parries, right? He has good movement, he has invulnerability frames. I don't know if you guys had Sambi, but Sambi was a mess, right? Like, her invulnerability frames were all over the place, they had a lot of gaps in them, it really worked poorly, and she was an S rank. But nowadays, you get Monato, and even though he is an A rank, he is still chock full of invisibility frames. He does good damage, even though obviously he doesn't do as much damage as the other newer characters. But like, even in terms of gameplay, there is power creep. It's not just stats. So, honestly, the bosses are just keeping up with us. It's just keeping up with the Jonases, right? The thing is, it feels fine when you're playing with the new stuff. But if you really love an older character, that character is becoming less and less viable pretty much every single patch. It's like maybe a month, right? Every 21 days, you get the new banner, you get the new character, and the first thing you have to be thinking to yourself is, where are they going to power creep things this time around? And if you're playing, like, you really love your Zhu Yuan or Jane Doe or something like that, like, it's harsh up there. It's really, really harsh. Now, you can still use a lot of characters, and I used, oh, I'm missing the name. The Fire Anomaly character that everybody used, that loves Nitro Fuel. And she was fine. She completely worked and did everything she needed to do for me. But, like, let's not kid ourselves. We are making extra efforts compared to just playing the newer stuff. And in my opinion, power creep is kind of inevitable because there are too many people who really need the character to be a power creep over stuff that was older for them to feel that they need the character. And unfortunately, because that hurts the bottom end of Hoyo, they want the money, right? They will make the character stronger because it does affect the purchasing decisions of a lot of players. So that will keep happening. The only thing that I want them to do is slow it down. There is absolutely no reason why Dial-In is stronger than Jufufu. They're not spread enough in time for that to make any sense. It really should be a slower process where, sure, we get things a little bit better. For example, if gameplay is better, if the character has more invulnerability frames, if the character has, like, more opportunities to do damage, right? So, for example, they have ways of doing more damage than they're supposed to in places where you wouldn't expect it as much, right? If that's happening, you don't need the numbers to be higher. You're going to do more damage anyway. And to me, That is honestly the main problem that we're seeing. It's not as so much about how much HP inflation we're getting. It's really mostly that the characters themselves are coming out too strong, and that forces the HP inflation to happen. Because let's be real here, none of us want to get our characters massively power creeping the game, and then we get to the bosses, and we're watching YouTube while doing like deadly assault. No one wants that. What we want is the game to still be challenging, but we want to still be able to bring our characters at least as long as they're not incredibly old. Like, I'm not saying to play Billy, but the game should be fine when I'm playing an S rank from 1.x. Right? That's my feelings on the matter. I don't know what you guys think about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll do some more of this. And like, subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff. And thanks a lot for being here with me for this. See you next time.